Welcome, my name is Maribel Robledo. I'm here with my team, Kate Solorzano, Elias Deasley, and Cindy Cabrera. Today, our topic discusses what is in our baby's food with a clear focus on the Gerber baby. So, to begin, we're going to talk about how this topic was even brought into light. A national investigation conducted by the Healthy Bright Babies Future Foundation tested 168 different baby foods, in which they found that 95% of those tested baby foods contained one or more toxic metals, which caused lower IQs in babies. Such companies include Gerber, Beechnut, Hain Celestial, and Nurture Inc. And studies also found that 1 in 4 baby foods actually contain all 4 of these metals, which we will be discussing in the next slide. So as previously mentioned, Gerber is a baby food company that tested positive for these metals, and so our primary problem today is that Gerber is receiving backlash and criticism for actually testing positive in containing dangerously high levels of these toxic metals. So these metals include lead, mercury, arsenic, and cadmium. And even in trace amounts, these harmful metals can lead to health complications, cancer, and even neurological damage in developing children. As well as ADHD and autism may also be linked to consuming these toxic metals. And so according to the HBBF, the Healthy Bright Babies Future, out of their 168 foods that they tested, 94 came back positive for lead, 73 for arsenic, 75% for cadmium, and 32% back for mercury. And these metals and complications only add up in these baby system with more food or snacks that they consume. And additionally, according to the HBBF, despite these risks, with few exceptions, there are no specific limits for toxic heavy metals in baby food.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elias Deasley. For the relevant stakeholders, we first have internal. For upper management, they have to worry about the lawsuits that's coming from this case due to their irresponsibility to check what goes behind the making of their baby formula. And that is according to Miller R. The preferred outcome is that they lose little or no money at all, preferably, from this case, and regain the credibility from their customers. Next, we have employees, specifically factory employees for this matter. They have to worry about their jobs being at risk and having to find a new source of income potentially. And for them, they just want to keep their job secured and continue working. And then we have stockholders. For them, they are worried that the company will lose profits because of this, and that this ultimately harms the pockets of the stockholders. And their demand is that they don't lose money from this case because of Gerber's irresponsibility. For external factors, we have customers. According to What's in My Baby's Food, parents have to worry about if their babies are going to be okay after consuming highly toxic chemicals. On top of that, they have to potentially find a new baby food brand other than Gerber, or make these baby food products on their own, which adds a lot of stress to a parent. Their preferred solution is that Gerber fixes their formula so their babies can be safe while eating their nutrients. Next, we have competition who's both positively and negatively affected from this situation. A brand that's negatively affected from this situation is Sprouts Baby Foods. According to Jouett, they're facing a similar repercussion, that being a lawsuit for also having highly toxic chemicals within their baby food. Their preferred solution is similar to upper management, that being that they want the credibility to be saved and not to lose too much money from this case. For a competition that's positively effective, we have Serenity Kids. According to their website, they promote that they don't have these toxic chemicals like these other top brands, and they even go as far as follow California's 65 limit, which shows that even though there is an FDA approved standard, that they're still following some type of rule to keep babies safe. Also, they have their suppliers test their soil and ingredients to make sure that the food is safe for baby consumption. The preferred solution for this is to gain more customers because of how much care they put into their brand. For the FDA, they have to worry about quickly implementing a new protective standard that enforces these baby food brands to no longer use toxic chemicals in baby food products formulas. This is just to ensure that no more babies are harmed from these baby foods. This was, again, from my source, What's in My Baby's Food. The FDA's demand from this case is that no more babies are harmed, and once this standard is implemented, these brands follow it. And finally, we have the manufacturer, Nestle. For them, if this FDA standard is implemented, they have to create a new formula for their baby food products, which could be time-consuming and cost a lot of money to do so, but it is important so these babies are okay. And the preferred solution is that once they make this new formula, that it's still nutritious for babies, and it doesn't cost too much money or too much time.
My name is Kate Lorzano, and I'll be talking about the critical issues. First, we'll talk about the issues behind the toxins within baby food. Birth through age 5 is a period of more significant and more rapid brain and biological development than any other time in the human lifespan. So throughout this period, children are uniquely vulnerable to environmental toxins that may permanently shape their development. Decades of research have shown that no amount of heavy metal in consumables marketed towards infants and children is considered safe. Some public health advocates argue that the FDA needs to do more. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that there is no safe level of lead for children, and even low levels of lead in blood have been found to negatively affect a child's intelligence, ability to pay attention, and academic achievement. Over time, exposure to heavy metals can harm the health of adults and children. One of the biggest worries is the cognitive development in very young children. Babies and toddlers are particularly vulnerable due to their smaller size and developing brains and organ systems, says James E. Rogers, PhD, Director of Food Safety Research and Testing at Consumer Reports. Exposure to even small amounts of these heavy metals at an early age may increase the risk of several health problems, especially lower IQ and behavior problems, and have been linked to autism and attention defect hyperactivity disorder. The effects of early exposure to heavy metals can have a strong lasting impact that may be impossible to reverse. The risk from heavy metals grow over time. In part, they accumulate in the kidneys and other internal organs. These toxins can remain in the body for years. So next, going into the most desirable outcome. The most desirable outcome throughout my research and throughout articles all came to the agreement in being able to eliminate the numbers and lowering the numbers of toxins of babies
of baby food. Despite more than a decade of public health research on the consequences of heavy metal exposure, the vast majority of baby foods included in 2019's Healthy Babies Bright Future study, 88% lacked any federal standards for maximum allowable levels of toxic heavy metals. A statement from the FDA said it knows there is more work to do, but warned that lowering heavy metals in food will take time. The agency said setting action levels to zero for non-organic arsenic, lead, and cadmium would be short-sighted and could result in food shortages. The goal continues to be ensuring access to food that provide essential nutrients while lowering the level of commands to close to zero as possible. Although the FDA's draft guidance includes a range of consumables marketed to young children, it excludes several notable products, including grain-based snacks and infant formula, which continue to be manufactured with no or lenient regulations on heavy metal levels. To further its commitment to reducing dietary heavy metal exposure among young children, the FDA should expand its guidance to include other commonly consumed food, such as teething biscuits and rice snacks, as well as move towards including infant formula in its Closer to Zero initiative.
My name is Cindy Cabrera, and here are our solutions. The first solution is for Gerber to establish health protective standards for heavy metals. The second solution is for Gerber to do nothing and continue to produce products with heavy metals. The third solution is for Gerber to regulate arsenic levels by communicating with their suppliers and farmers to source rice from fields with lower arsenic levels in the soil. The fourth solution is for Gerber to recall all the items that contain heavy metals. And finally, the fifth solution is for Gerber to make a public statement on why there are heavy metals in their baby food products. Now, after reviewing these solutions, we have come to realize that the most optimal solution for the case study is for Gerber to take the extra steps to reduce heavy metals in their products. For this solution to happen, Gerber will need to contact the farmers and suppliers of the product to source from fields with lower arsenic levels in the soil. By doing so, the levels of heavy metals in their baby food products will greatly decrease, creating a safer food choice for all infants who consume these products. As mentioned before by Elias, the baby food company My Serenity Kids is a prime example of how this solution is the most optimal choice. This company displays on its website each farm and producer they work with to create their baby food products. They go in depth explaining each farm's practices and safety regulations. This company tests for heavy metals in their entire product collection. According to their official website, their suppliers conduct testing on their soil, they have robust food safety programs, and they undergo the most rigorous food safety audit. Overall, this is the level of care and safety that Gerber should strive to reach, as our infant safety is the number one priority in all of this. Thank you for listening. We hope you make smarter choices on what your infant will consume, and here are the references we have collected.